All right, guys, we are back with another Marvel Strike Force video. This is the March 5th, 2021 community feedback follow-up post. To my left, I have Cdotts. Gonna get his take on this as well, as we get a live reaction from the two of us, as well as my chat. We are streaming this live on Twitch. And yeah, so let's dive right into it. What do you say, bud?
I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready to get salty.
Ready to get salty. Here we go. All right. So, character progression and tech issues. All right. 3 weeks ago, we posted a response to some concerns raised by players regarding character progression and technical issues. In that post, we announced that we would address the feedback with specifics after a few weeks, and we are ready to share more information with you today. Okay, well, that's a good start, because that's what we were hoping for.
So far, so good. Great post.
Yes. First paragraph, first two sentences. A.
Knocked it out of the park.
All right. Character progression. Training modules. Did a lot of player feedback on the topic of training modules availability. After some analysis, it's clear that we need to significantly increase the amount of available training modules to better enable players to level up their characters at the intended rate. We've been telling them this for months, if not years, that we needed more training modules. And it took them doing an internal analysis after we griped for this long to figure that out? Really?
Yeah, when people quit the game, that's when internal analysis start going on.
Through a number of changes, we're going to increase the amount of training modules you can get on a monthly basis by a value of nearly 800,000 XP or 1,000 level 3 training modules. So the level 3 is the purples, right?
Yep. That's a lot.
That's
let me go look at my game real quick.
Yeah, let me.
If you guys don't know me, I'm a hoarder, and I am one of the few people that have training materials.
Well, I have training materials as well.
I think I only have 100 in my bank right now. So if we're gonna get 1,000 a month, if we like now, everyone's just gonna be like, well, I've got training materials. Now I have no gold.
Well, hopefully they'll say something about the gold. Maybe, possibly, because I'm already stuck on gold, and I have training mats. I have training mats for days, and I have no gold.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got 350 purples right now. Now, and I've been purposely not using them because I want to see how fast they go. I haven't started leveling back up from. I'm trying to save all the L3s and the L4s for the moving my characters from 75 to 80, because I want to see how many it takes to do that. And well, now if we're gonna get 1,000 more a month, I guess I don't have to do that anymore, because I'm gonna if we're gonna get 1,000 a month, then and I'm sitting at 350, well, training mat experiment over.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, specifically the training modules, 800,000 in a month. That's what, roughly enough to take one character from 0 to 80. I'm guessing. I really don't know.
Oh, I don't know, because it doesn't tell you the XP.
Well, it does. It does. If you look on the right side, if you're in the character screen.
Okay, let me find a character that's at 1. Yeah, so 700. No. That says 70,000. So no, it's only. No, yeah, you're right. No, yeah, it's only 70. It's only 80,000. That's 800,000. So that's a lot.
Well, it's 80,000 going from 79 to 80. It's 79,000 going from 78 to 79. 69,000 going from 78 to 79.
Oh yeah, because it combines it.
68,000 for level. So that's still
currently.
So that's not taking a character fully from 1 to 80.
Wait here, how much XP is a blue piece? A blue piece is 15.
Right.
And it takes. So I put a character from 1 to 80. It took 2 greens, 3,891 blues, 347 of my purples, and then I have 113 L4s. So
wow.
That's gonna take math that we don't have time for.
Okay.
But it's a lot.
Yeah, so
That's a lot.
800,000, if I'm reading it roughly correctly, that's enough to go from like 65 to 80, give or take, maybe 60 to 80. Somewhere in that range. That's actually not a bad amount. And that's a heck of a lot more than we're getting now.
Oh yeah. Well, anything's going to be better than what we're getting now.
Well, this is true.
I'm not. Well, the problem is, well, they're going to give us all these training mats. So it's just basically going to become Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, where training mats don't matter anymore, because I mean, I still don't have gold.
Speaking of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I'm going to add a little side note here because I think it's hilarious. I went into my Galaxy of Heroes account yesterday and realized that I had 500 million gold credits and over 200,000 training modules. I took my entire roster to level 85 just because I could.
Yeah, why not? Like, and in that game, they actually used gold for mods, which we don't in this game.
Exactly, so we have a completely different currency.
Like, I mean, I don't understand like why we're this hamstrung on gold. Like, we should be hamstrung, yes, because, you know, they decided to do ions and everything else. But why are we this hamstrung on gold?
Right.
I don't know.
My personal opinion, we should have enough gold to level the characters that we get each month from 0 to 80. We should be getting...
We get what? We get enough gold to do one?
Give or take.
Well, we could be... We might need to keep reading. Maybe they'll address gold because it's a part of character progression.
It is. It is. All right. So, next paragraph. Firstly, we will be creating a recurring Flash event that specifically rewards training modules. I'm telling you, dude, they watched us when we streamed this the other night. They watched us.
They did.
Because we said this specifically. Similar to
Although
events.
I don't like the team.
Like Payday and Chaos Theory will require skilled military characters. Son of a... Ugh. Okay. Yep. See below for information on that team's rework. They're already getting a rework. The team just came out. They're already getting a rework. Good lord.
Well, they needed it. That's a different video altogether.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We will make Yelena's character shards more accessible before the first run of the event. Okay. Which we're currently targeting around May. That's all it says.
I mean, there's more than one character that came out on that team. But I digress. Let's keep going.
Yes. Okay. We're currently targeting around May. It's not bad. And similar to Chaos... Yeah, it is. And similar to Chaos Theory, the first-time completion rewards will be generous to give some initial relief up front. Okay. So I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with that timeline. That hopefully it works.
Well, that also gives you enough time to build this team up. Now, granted, if this event is with ISOs in mind, which it most likely is, it's probably going to be what? Gear 10, 65, 666. Well, this team needs T4s to function. So You're gonna need those T4s.
I think it'll be, if it's on par with Chaos Theory and Payday, then I wouldn't expect worse than Gear 10. Maybe ISO level 2. And if it's on par with Payday and Chaos Theory, you can have one of the legacy characters really high, and then the rest of the team at joke gear levels. I mean, that's how I did Chaos Theory. I didn't level up any of my Wakandans except Shuri. I went in with a Gear 13 Shuri and cleaned house, so she kept everybody alive.
I'm glad that I'm not in DD4 yet, because now this might change who I take in City. Like, maybe I take Punisher now, and then just wipe the floor with this thing.
Right, well see, I had already planned on taking Punisher, so I'm kind of already there, but I'm only on node 2 of DD4, so I still have time to change if something else changes. So, second, we'll be increasing the amount of training modules you get from daily objectives from 1 L2 and L3 each to over 15 L3 training modules every day. Training modules will also be added as rewards to various areas, including login calendars and level rewards for newer players. That's a nice increase. I'm going
to play that guy that no one likes to hear. Guess what? All of this is going to mean jack crap in about 8 months.
If they don't
release, once they increase the level cap again, this is going to mean nothing. All those mats are going to go away. All this is going to do is be like, hey, everyone, we're going to give you all these training mats, so go spend them. Nope. And then when the next level cap increase comes, they're going to be gone. And it won't matter.
But I understand.
That's 8 months down the road.
I completely understand what you're saying, because this is really the first time we've had a training module increase since I've been playing, and like I said, I completely understand. But I'm hoping that this tiers with the progression of the game. As we get level 85, as we get level 90, these things need to increase as well. That way we can keep up with it. Well,
on the roadmap, they've got all the way to what level? They have Gear 16, which is the last of the orange, or the whatever you want to call it.
The gold gear.
The next color's diamond or white, I think. After that, so it's 16 or 17, 18, 19, and 20 are all think white.
Yes, it's the platinum stuff.
Yeah, platinum or white. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Platinum, white, whatever.
And then above platinum would be diamond.
Yeah, and I think that's level 20. Level 20 is supposed to be different. There's only 3 levels, I think, in the platinum tier.
Yeah, so we've got 14, 15, and 16 are orange. 17, 18, and 19 should be platinum, 20 should be diamond, and if I'm not mistaken, 20 is the cap out of where it is going to be, where it maxes. Yeah,
the game's roadmap ends there. They would have to create a new roadmap, I would assume, which they probably already have for the next 5 years or whatever.
They've probably extended it past that for now, but that's kind of where we're at right now. That's all that's been released, I should say. Okay, so finally, because we know May is a couple months away, we'll be looking for opportunities to provide you with additional training modules. In the meantime, this will likely include training modules and events, milestones, and new features. And also, I know you saw it, and I'm sure everybody else that's watching has seen it. There is a thank you calendar that should start tonight after server reset. That does have training orbs in it.
Yeah, I'm happy. This hit it. I think we've hit everything there is to say on that. We're good. Thank you. Don't make us regret it next year when you take them all away.
Exactly. All right, orange gear. Similar to training modules, we looked at orange gear availability and identified areas where we can nearly load this stat catalysts and origin gear. Okay, to help players better progress through orange gear, we'll be increasing orange gear availability in the following ways. Doubling the superior basic catalyst and daily objectives. Okay, so now we get 50 a day instead of 25. Doubling the non-first time rewards for orange gear in Relic Hunt. I don't remember how many that is, but
okay,
doubling is fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Doubling the value for superior basic catalysts, stat catalysts, and orange gear in the raid store. So instead of
the stat catalysts are the damage, focus,
yes,
resistance, and then the orange gear is what they consider the isomers.
The isomers, the phosphates,
the bottles.
Yeah, those things. So, and generally in the raid store, if I remember correctly, we get. Oh wait, hang on, and adding an additional row of orange gear into the raid store. So there's more gear availability.
Right now in the raid store, there is one full row of orange gear, and then one row that has one character and then 2 orange gears.
Right, so we have 5 available
and
slots.
One of them is always SBCs.
Yes.
So,
and if I remember correctly, it's usually 3 pieces in the raid store.
Yeah, so it's normally 3 pieces. It's normally 3 pieces of origin, and then one of them is fixed as SBC, and then the other one is a rotating of one of the stat catalysts.
Okay.
At least I think. It might all be random. I don't know. I do know that the SBCs is there the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know.
So doubling the value in the raid store. So I'm assuming that means they're going to take them to 6. Pieces.
Yeah, because they're all at 3 now.
My only question.
Is a random number.
My only question for doubling it to 6. I know it says doubling the value, so I feel like I should assume that they aren't going to double the price of that.
No, I think they're doubling normally when you double the value, you're just you're keeping the price the same, but you're increasing the number that you get.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And
yeah.
Okay, chat's saying to keep reading. Uh-oh. So yeah.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, right. Let's keep reading before we dive too deeply into this. So the per unit cost of all orange gear, except uniques, which is what we freaking need, in the main supply store will be reduced and quantities will be increased, resulting in 300% more value in SBCs, going from 240k gold for 5 pieces to 240k gold for 20 pieces. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Why wasn't it like that before is more of the question, but keep going.
60% more value on basic origin gear, going from 32,100 gold for 1 piece to 60,000 gold for 3 pieces, and 100% more value on stat catalysts, going from 96,300 gold for 3 pieces to 80,000 gold for 5 pieces. Now, I get why the original price was 240k gold for 5 pieces. Initially, when they released it, it was only for the whales, it was only for the top 1%, whatever. I get that.
Right.
It has been way too long. We are 2 years into orange gear, into gold gear, and it's just now getting an increase. I mean, that 300% is huge. It should have been. I mean, if anything, at this point in time, it should be going from a 250 to a 300% increase, or a 200% to a 300% increase. There should have been an increase somewhere along the way. It shouldn't have taken this long.
Right, and this is only in the supply store, too.
Yes.
So we have to take any other value increase with a grain of salt. I'm assuming that the next paragraph is probably going to address, where else are they? They're in the war store, too, right? So
yes.
I'm assuming they're going to also say in the war store they're going to change value.
Additionally, this is the point in the natural life cycle of Gear Tier 15 where we would provide more access to the Gear Tier 15 mini uniques. You'll be seeing this in the following ways. Double the quantity of mini unique bundles in the War Store and the Orb, going from 1,400 war credits for 2 pieces to 1,400 war credits for 4 pieces. Okay, I don't mind that. And 40% more value.
They do that for 14? They didn't do that for 14.
No, but 14 became farmable through Doom War.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Okay.
And 40% more value in the main supply store, going from 50k gold for 1 piece to 70k gold for 2 pieces.
Oh, when is this going to happen? I just bought like 3 pieces today. If this is going to happen at reset, I'll be fine. But...
Yeah. Honestly, I don't expect it at reset, but it shouldn't take long. It really shouldn't take long to change. Yeah. It's changing numbers. It shouldn't be that bad. There will be additional...
Well, see, I think my only problem with this paragraph is no timeline is given on any of this at all.
Yeah.
It just says this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, I agree. I wish there was a timeline on it. You know, for the training gear, the training modules and stuff, we got a timeline of May. And Yelena being more available before then, which makes me think she's going to be a Battle Pass character. You know, probably next time around.
Oh, she'll probably be next month's Battle Pass. And we'll find that out probably tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. But that's kind of, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I agree with you. I wish there was a timeline. As long as this doesn't take 6 months, you know, if it takes up to a month, I'm okay with that, as long as they keep us in the loop of what's going on. But if they flat out disappear and we ain't seen it in a month, that's no bueno.
Yeah, not good. Hopefully more. Then I can actually maybe take Hella. So.
All right, there will be additional orange gear reward changes in the next section as well. Well, shall we keep going?
Mm-hmm.
All right, raid milestone rewards. As previously mentioned, we acknowledge that these milestones are overdue for an update. We will be adding additional tiers of milestones that will reward blue, purple, and orange gear raid orbs. Furthermore, there will be top tier milestones available for Doom Raid progression with exclusive rewards. We anticipate this happening towards the end of March. Okay, so we have a timeline for this.
So, yeah. It's almost like that they forgot the time. Unless, if there's no timeline, that means it's happening now. I'm going to assume all day, and in 2 hours we will find out, or 1.5 hours we will find out. But this, I like this. If they are giving you well, think about this for a second. How many purples do you lose out a day? If you say, I'm going to go do Doom War, which rewards no purple orbs, how many do you lose? Would you expect each milestone to reward what? Because it's 2 weeks, right? Each season, whatever.
Yeah. Each season is 2 weeks.
Would you expect at least 1 day's worth of? Let's just say U75 at 60%. Let's just forget 100%. We'll just say 70 or 60%.
What's that? 8 orbs?
Yeah, 8 orbs per tier that you hit, and there's going to be probably knowing them, there's probably going to be 4, maybe 5 tiers. What we got? 15 now. They'll probably give us 20, or they could do what they did with the Blitz milestone. So the Blitz milestones used to go from to 7, right? And now they go to 20.
Yes.
So maybe they do that. Maybe they stretch it out over, like completely redo it. This just says additional tiers, which to me means they're going to add 5 tiers, or maybe 10.
I think for there to be blue, purple, and orange gear raid orb drops, they're going to have to do 10. It's going to have to go to 25, I think.
Well, and to give any significant amount of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, because you're obviously not going to give 10 orbs in one milestone. I mean, I guess they could, but
Right.
I don't see them doing that.
Right.
Yeah,
they're gonna give you like 1 day's progression for 2 weeks. So
right.
it's still gonna hamstring you. Like if you go to Doom War, you're gonna have to make a choice. You're either gonna have to stay in Doom and suck it up on the purple orbs, or they're gonna like start releasing. I mean, that's the good thing about these orbs, right? These are catch-up mechanics for younger players or
right.
early game players.
Exactly.
Blue, purple, and orange gear orbs are perfect catch-up mechanics that other games don't have. That they could maybe give us, because those young players aren't gonna hit those top tiers where you probably get those. So maybe they will. Maybe they'll give us 2 weeks worth of blue, purple, and orange gear, or maybe not the orange, since they're in the Doom. They'll just give you like a little bit more. But yeah. I would assume, like, this is again assuming if we get anywhere close to two weeks worth of blue and purple orbs, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that as well. I do wonder what the top tier milestones specifically for Doom Raid progression are.
I would assume that means that if you want to max all of them out, you have to be doing Doom. You can't do U7-5 and max all the milestones.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
I'm
okay with it. I've been wanting to try the Doom Raid anyway. Maybe it'll be something like my alliance can maybe work in, say 2 or 3 Doom Raids a week, maybe 2.
Yeah, like I mean, if you're short, say we add 10 milestones and at U7-5, 100% the whole time, 100% on whatever Greek you're doing, you get to, I don't know, 22, right? Well, you're still getting the purple and orange gear orbs, right?
Yeah.
So, those extra tiers aren't helping you. The extra tiers are for the people doing Doom Raid because they're only rewarding orange gear, right?
I would assume that it's that, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So, but hey, at least we got a timeline, end of March.
Timeline's good. Timelines are always good. All right, let's see what they did with the team that should have came out March last year.
So, skill military characters. Some players that invested significant resources into characters with these skill and military traits have provided feedback that the team isn't quite meeting their expectations. While this team can challenge many other squads at an equal power level, we've seen that they haven't been winning as many battles as we intended. Oh no.
No shit.
The combat designers are now taking a second pass at the skill military team to make some additional improvements that should increase their effectiveness in combat. Additionally, we will be adding the military trait to Black Widow, so she will be another character you have the option of swapping in. We anticipate these changes going live in version 5.3, and that should be the next patch, I believe. Are we not on 5.
I think so.
I think 5.3 should be the next patch. All right. And it says, character balance is an ongoing and ever-changing endeavor for us, and we always appreciate your feedback to assist in striking that proper parity.
Okay. I'm gonna touch on this real quick because this doesn't say much. I am now questioning taking Zemo into DD4 because of that, and also taking Night Nurse instead of Punisher. I think this might almost solidify you. If you want to take Black Widow instead of Zemo, you will be rewarded. And if you take Punisher into DD4, you will be rewarded. Because then now you have to build, 2 other characters? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, because most people have Killmonger up because of mercs. Well, I don't, but the most of the player base already has it, so that'll be interesting.
Okay, so chat says
looking forward to this change.
So chat says we're at 5.1. So
they could probably skip one. Who knows?
We'll see
what tomorrow. Again, tomorrow is we're ending the near of the patch, and we gotta. I mean, what? They've normally dropped it within 2 weeks' notice, right? Where they give you the new patch is coming, and then 2 weeks later it comes, right?
Yeah.
So maybe March 16th is the new patch, and then tomorrow will be all about it, or the start of what's going to happen.
I would guesstimate that it should be.
Okay.
So. All right.
Let's see what else they have. Hopefully gold.
Technical issues.
Nope. No gold. Okay, so gold is going to continue being a problem.
Yep. All right, so technical issues. Thor's hammer. Because this hasn't been a problem. The engineering team...
I have videos to prove it.
Right. The engineering team has continued to investigate the problem with Thor's hammer throw ability causing a soft lock. Fortunately, we're fairly confident that we found the problem and will push the fix in version 5.2, scheduled for release in a few weeks. There you go, 5.2 is coming in a few weeks. 5.3 will be April, so that's when we should expect the change for skilled military.
Which is fine.
That's a little longer than I would want it to be. I would expect that to be in 5.2, honestly, because that's not a hard change. But
well, the event isn't even coming out until May, which is 5.4. So we've still got time.
Yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense too. I get that.
And who knows? They might have other things that they're doing. They might rework Killmonger and Punisher, and hell, they might come up with a whole new damn character for all we know. Like, they just told us one piece of the puzzle that's gonna happen. So I'm still not gonna invest yet. I will now wait until we hear more. So if I take Zemo, I take Zemo.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. Alright, so what we found is that when the ability was used once, Mjolnir would not properly return to Thor's hand. Then if a player tries to use the ability a second time, that's when the soft lock would occur. We will monitor the situation to ensure that the fix is working as intended. Okay, well, doesn't really explain what the fix is, but they think they found it, and hopefully it will.
It most likely fixing the animation.
Probably. Buffs not expiring when intended. There are currently some scenarios where positive effects for characters do not expire at the intended time. For example, a character with decent defense up that should expire after one turn lasts 2 turns or longer. This will be fixed in version 5.2. Okay.
No more infinite heals.
Hopefully.
Holy God.
Hopefully no more infinite heals.
Yes.
Arena exploits.
I like how they didn't use the example of the regenerations being it. They said defense up.
Right.
Yeah, that never happened. It was only when it was the regenerations.
Alright, Arena exploit. When it comes to exploits, it's a tricky situation regarding communication. On the one hand, we do want players to know that we're aware of an exploit and are investigating how to close the loophole. On the other hand, players that didn't know about the exploit might seek information on how to abuse it. Given the recent concern over this exploit, we feel it prudent at this time to acknowledge it and say what we're doing about it. Without going into too much detail for the aforementioned reasons, there is currently an exploit that allows players to manipulate arena rankings in an unintended way. We have a fix for this that will go live with version 5.2. So I'm assuming this is going to be the slingshot.
No, because that's not... Okay, there are 2 things that people get pissed about in Arena.
The slingshot is not
one of them is slingshot.
That's
right?
There's no way to slingshot and do it.
There's no way to intentionally slingshot
unless you're talking to people in your arena shard and say, and hey, okay, this guy's attacking this guy, can go attack him, and yeah, that's not happening. We know that's not happening.
That's not an exploit. That's people working together to game the system. Like that's gonna happen regardless. You can't stop that. The slingshot problem will not go away. This is some other problem where I've never looked at it. Like, anytime anyone brings it up, I just tune out because I don't even want to know. Like, there are ways to lock people out of, like, I think when you go into the battle, you can lock someone out and leave somehow. I don't know how you do it, and then come back an hour later, and then so if that person's at 5, well, that battle's still going on. You bring that battle back up, and then you go. I think. I don't know.
I honestly have no idea. I've heard people talk about exploits, but I don't know what it is. I've never looked into it. I don't use it. The only thing that I know about is the slingshot, and that's not technically an exploit. That's just gaming the system.
Yep.
Even though it's not intentional, and there is a way to fix the slingshotting, but it's not. They're not going to.
I'm fine with the slingshot until it drops me from 5 to 45.
Yeah, that can be a problem.
Yeah, and there's no way around it. I've also had slingshot go in my favor where I've gone from 20 to 5, right? Like, so it has helped me, but you can't plan that at all. Like, it's a perfect storm of things that have to happen.
Right.
Like, literally everyone has to be attacking somebody at the exact same time, and then the perfect storm of people winning / losing have to happen. Because if somebody loses in the chain, well, the chain ends with them, right? Like, no more the slingshot stops there, and then it starts going the other way, right? So I'm going to, I want to see what Reddit says, because I think everyone is going to think this is talking about slingshot, but it is not. And I'm glad, because there is an exploit, and slingshot is not an exploit. That is technically it's a game feature, if you want to call it something.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's not an exploit. I did kind of jump to it when I read that, but you're right. Huh. Okay. Shall we go on?
I'm happy they're addressing. That is what I'm mad about, because because everyone thinks when you go from 5 to 45, that slingshot. It can be, but man, you know how often that goes, or how many things have to go right for that to happen, for the slingshot to work like that.
Well, it's like you said, it's a perfect storm.
It can work that way, and I understand how that works. So I'm glad that they've acknowledged it, and then maybe if they catch people doing it, maybe they can monitor people doing it now, and maybe they can't stop it, but maybe they ban them. I don't know. I don't know. Stern talking to.
slap on the hand.
Yeah, right.
Don't do it again.
Yeah, don't do that again. And then when you do it again, maybe you will get banned. Maybe you won't. I don't know.
Right. All right. Next up, we have the Black Panther passive ability. Regarding Black Panther's passive ability, Defender of Wakanda, he is currently not gaining speed bar when he kills a target through an assist attack. This is not intended and will be fixed in version 5.2. I'll be honest with you.
People actually used.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd never used Black Panther, so I didn't even know that was an issue. I know the AI Black Panther
every day, people would be pissed.
Yeah, well, like the AI Black Panther does it, so I just assumed it worked on our Black Panthers as well, but apparently I was wrong.
Yep.
Costume clarification. In the 2021 first half preview post, one of the new features we mentioned that we were working on is costumes. There were several questions from players wanting to know if unlocking and equipping a costume for a character would somehow enhance that character's balance or abilities. The answer to that is no. Costumes will not have a direct mechanical advantage. There is a possibility that in the future, costumes could unlock additional perks, but there are presently no plans for them to do so. The intention of the system is to allow players to customize the look of their characters freely without feeling pressured to change costumes in order to gain an edge in battle. Okay, so that just clarifies what we all thought. Is that, well, what I say we all thought, everybody that watches this stream and your stream and, you know, Flair and Biscuit Weasel and everybody else, is that it was going to be purely cosmetic. You know?
Yep.
So
I will have to say, I do not like the wording that they chose to display that, because it does say, but there are presently no plans to do so. Now,
right.
Does that mean if I pass on like the first, I don't know, 6 months of costumes because they don't do shit and I didn't want to, you know, do the easy way, right? Like, or get them the easy way without paying for it, right? Or whatever, however they're going to release them to us. And then now, because of that decision, they're going to go back and add balance features to those. I would not be on board with that. Like, you have to have it up front that this system is either purely cosmetic or it's going to affect balance. Like, you can't say, oh, 2 years from now, like, oh yeah, we'll have them. Unless the costumes will have a purely free-to-play way to get them. But who knows how that's going to be.
Right.
Or what that's going to be.
I think what they're doing, and this could just be me being optimistic or however you want to take it, what they're doing is they are stating that they have no intention of doing it this way, but they're leaving themselves open to the possibility of doing that later on down the road. So that way they don't get caught in the legalese of, if they do decide to change it because Scopely gets bought out by EA or whatever, then, you know, they don't get caught with getting sued by people because they said they weren't going to do that. I think it's more of a CYA thing than anything. If they do add costumes that have perks, I'm thinking that there will be like the first gen costumes that are just purely cosmetic, and then there will be a second generation costumes that have the perks attached to them. I think that's the only way you could do it, because because as you have new players come into the game,
I think it would have to be a completely different system, or like you said, different version of said system, or they would just give away those other ones for free. They would have to. They would pretty much have to, because if you have somebody that comes in at the beginning of, you know, Generation 2 and gets these perked costumes, but then there were perked costumes from 6 months ago that they now don't have access to, well, we've all got a jump on them anyway, but now it's even bigger. Yeah, that's why the Fortnite skins, the Call of Duty skins, they don't do anything. It's just cosmetic, and they can make them as rare as they want and make them never come back, because they don't do anything other than look pretty. Like, if they did something that changed the balance of the guns, or changed the balance of how fast you build or how fast you run or something, then they would have to figure out a way to sell it or earn it free to play over time. But I'm glad they said it. It just makes me worried. When they do want to, change costumes because of balance, what happens then?
I understand and I agree. I don't think it will ever. I don't think that's something that's really in their plans to do. I just think they're leaving the door open so that if things do change, they can do it if they want to.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I wish that they would have done the Deadpool X-Force costume.
Yeah,
like,
that one was
do
awesome.
The same thing when you did the Empowered. Like, if they release an X-Force, which I'm assuming that's what they're gonna do, they're gonna release, each character's X-Force costume, and then you can equip it, and then you'll be like, aha, cool, I got the X-Force. And yeah, I can assume that's what they're gonna do.
They'll probably bring out some.
Or they'll release like what?
They'll probably bring out some of the classics for like some of the original X-Men, like Wolverine, the blue and yellow, the blue and yellow Cyclops, Storm, So.
Yeah, sell them in packs. That's what they're gonna end up doing. It's gonna be like $20 or nah. Yeah, maybe $20. I could see it being $20 if they sold 5 costumes for $20, and it'd be all the uncanny like 90s cartoon costumes. I can see that.
And that's what I was about to say. You said $20, and I'm like, it better be a whole team for $20.
Oh yeah, not one. It's gonna be the whole team. But I mean, that still to me is expensive just for something that's cosmetic. Like,
oh yeah, I completely agree.
$5 a costume or $4 a costume. That's pretty steep. And I would assume that they would sell them $5, individually. Like their costumes. Hell, I'd buy them if they were $1. They're not going to sell them for $1.
Right. It's going to be one of those that I'm gonna pick and choose. If they do something I like, I might buy it, maybe, possibly, but more than likely, I'm not going to buy costumes. I'll go through. They said there was going to be a way to get them playing the game, free to play, basically. So that's what I'm going to go for. Because I don't care about cosmetic stuff in the game. I don't care.
This seems like the perfect thing for a 10 for 10. Like
yes.
Like this random costume, 10 for 10, go. Like perfect. Like, and if you get a duplicate, then you can roll again.
Yeah.
Make it where, like, I would assume what they're gonna do is they're gonna make a costume orb, like, and they're gonna have some way to free to play it, right?
Yep.
And if you get a dupe, you get like X amount of credits back to roll again. Now, granted, it's not gonna give you the whole orb back, right? But it'll be similar to Red Stars.
For cosmetic stuff, it should give you the whole orb back. I'm sorry.
Oh god, yeah. You'd think it would, but it won't. It'll be loot boxy. It depends on what the loot box. The European. They're the ones that are cracking down on it, right? Because they have to keep. They can't have one. The Americans have one type of orb, and then the Europeans have another. Like, people would stop playing the game, or we'd all go get European accounts real quick.
Right, VPN through Sweden or something.
Yep, exactly. So I think they might wait until the loot boxy thing, because technically Red Stars are loot boxes. Technically, the way they are set up, they are loot boxes.
That's correct.
And if that legislation comes down and makes them illegal, guess what? Red Stars are going to change, and we're not going to like it. So
exactly, yeah.
Be prepared for that.
In chat, they're talking about country-specific skins. Yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, so in summary, The team always welcomes feedback and constructive criticism. Please know that we are always listening and that it takes time to put feedback into motion. As ever, thank you for being here with us on this journey. Well, that's not really much of
no good luck commanders. No.
Yeah. No get F commanders.
No sign off.
Okay. The only thing that's missing that I wish they would have addressed was gold. I wish they would have addressed gold.
So this post is good. I have issues with not having a timeline on the orange gear stuff. They said the milestones will be end of March, but the value, like doubling the value of the current raid store items, the main supply store stuff, the DD4 gear pieces in the war. None of that has a timeline or dates or even a hint of like, oh, in the next couple weeks, we have nothing. So
yeah.
If this doesn't happen tonight, because normally when they don't give a date, it means it's happening today, right?
Yeah.
Normally when it's like, but they normally call that out, at server reset today, like they did with Zemo, right?
Yeah.
They told us exactly when. They said Wednesday at server reset, he will be available. Well, if these changes aren't available at reset, when do they come? Because that stuff needs to happen now.
My expectation, if it doesn't happen at reset today, there will be something in the blog post tomorrow. And if it's not in the blog post tomorrow, it will be in next week's blog post because it will be in the upcoming patch.
Yeah, hopefully. We
can
only hope.
That's my expectation, is that it is at the very latest is in the upcoming patch, which is in about a week and a half, give or take.
Yep.
So that's my expectation of this. If it's any longer than that, there's going to be issues. But I honestly have my hopes kind of set that it's going to hit at reset tonight. Whether it will or not, I don't know, but
no timeline to me means reset tonight. So you're gonna get Reddit's gonna be on fire, to say the least.
Oh yeah, it's gonna go from dumpster fire to full-fledged block fire.
Yep.
With that,
I won't be surprised. So normally, the videos come about now, right? We'll see. Give the community about 2 hours to digest it, and then they'll start getting mad.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, buddy. Well, any final thoughts?
Good luck, Commanders, because they didn't say it, so I'm going to. Good luck, Commanders. That's all I got. I mean, it's good. There's not much else to say about it. It did exactly what they said they were going to do, and they actually followed through for once. It's a miracle. Not much else to say.
I agree. I think it's a very good post. They addressed all the issues with the exception of a very small few. That I wanted to see them address, and we got timelines on just about everything. So it is a good post. All right, guys, thanks for. Huh? Do what?
I said win. Good job.
Yeah, definitely a win. This is
Zeke's and Cerebro.
exactly. Definitely give them a pay raise for this one. At least a little bit. At least a little bit. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Cdotts over on Twitch. I will put the link to his Twitch and his YouTube down below. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. All right, guys. Have a great day. Later.